Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I am going to be sharing 5 meals today that are coming in at £26.12 in total. When you watch this video you're going to be thinking that I could make some of these meals for a lot cheaper, and you're right, but I wanted to show a variety. So obviously you're going to see a gnocchi dish in these recipes that I'm sharing with you, and you could swap the gnocchi out for pasta to make it a lot cheaper, but I didn't just want to kind of focus in on all veggie meals or all pasta dishes, because I wanted to, like I said, give you guys a variety. So this is the typical meals that I'll make for my family in a week that's got the variety and it's enough to fill them up, and it's also got meat in some of them as well. I hope that makes sense. But what I'll do is I'll show you my shop when it's arrived, and I'm going to show you what I bought from my shop. I also buy in bulk because it makes things work out a lot cheaper too. I really hope you enjoy this video. Let me know if you'd like to see more. If you would like to challenge me maybe to see what meals I could make on a serious budget, then I will definitely try and do that next time, because obviously they'll be meat free and probably quite carby based, but that's fine. I like a challenge, so I will do that. Let me know if you'd like to see that video sometime soon. I hope you enjoy this, and thank you as always for watching. Let's get into it. Right, so I have just had my shop delivered, so I just want to show you how I have laid out all the different meals that I am going to be creating here. So like I said in the intro, I have bought things in bulk because buying in bulk is actually cheaper than buying things like just for the portion size that you need. So for example, here, as you can see for this meal, I bought this double pack of bacon. I'm actually only going to use like 1/2 of these packs in this meal. So then, but because I bought it in bulk, it actually worked out cheaper than if I was just to buy one individual pack of bacon like this. Pop this one in the freezer, and then you can use it at a later date, and it means when you come to make this meal or a similar meal again, you've already got an expensive part of your meal in your freezer. So today we're making gnocchi, and then I'm going to be making my homemade pesto with some crispy bacon there as well. So what I have got here is 2 packs of gnocchi. Now you can, if you want to, use pasta for this, which would make it a lot cheaper because each of these gnocchis are £1.60 a pack. But I just wanted to show you meals this week that had variation. So these are £1.60 each. I've got some bacon here, but I'm not going to use all of this at all. I'm probably going to use half, which is working out about £1.50. I've got 1 avocado at 70p. I've got a vegetable stock cube at 28p. I got some basil at 52p, and then I'm also going to be using like maybe that much of these pine nuts. So I've worked out that those are going to be costing me about 60p at most, which does bring this meal in at £6.85. So again, this is on the higher side, but you could easily remove this if you wanted to make it cheaper and switch these out to pasta. But like I said, I'm just showing you the variations. So what I'm going to do to make this meal is I'm going to just cut my bacon up into little bits, and then I'm going to fry those in a frying pan for a good 5 minutes until they're really, really nice and crispy. While those are crisping off, I'm going to just bring a pot of water up to the boil. Once it's bubbling, I'll add in my gnocchi and just cook those through for a few minutes. Once your gnocchi starts bobbing to the top of the water, that means it's cooked and ready. While that's all cooking through, I'll be making through my homemade pesto. So I just use all of this basil and I pop it in my blitzer along with my whole avocado, a small amount of pine nuts, and then also the vegetable stock cube with some water too. I'll just blitz it all together, and then I am ready to just add that to the gnocchi once it's cooked through. So I'll put the gnocchi into my pan with my bacon, and then I'll pour on my homemade pesto. If it needs it at this point, then that's when you should season it, but your bacon is quite salty, so I tend to just leave my seasoning off until the last minute. And then all that's left to do is serve up. You can just put some grated cheese or parmesan on top here, but it's a really lovely, delicious meal, and it's really healthy too. Right, so tonight's dinner is going to be the chicken and leek pie. So this is kind of my cheats version of a pie because it doesn't actually have a pastry base. It's just got a pastry top. So what I have got here, I'm not brand fussy at all, as you can see. This is all own brand products. I basically will type in the product that I need online, and then it will bring up all of the different options. I'll see which works out to be the cheapest, and I'll get that. Quite often it can be the branded stuff that is on offer and is cheaper, but for this meal, meal, all of the Tesco owned products were the cheapest. So I've got some puff pastry, whole grain mustard, 1 leek. I've got some soft cheese, 2 chicken breast fillets because I'm just going to dice those up, so that's plenty. And then I've also got a veggie stock cube. This meal literally takes you about 10 minutes to prepare, and then it's going to go into the oven for about half an hour. So let me run through the costings for all of these for you. So the puff pastry was $1.25, the chicken was $2.55. So if you wanted to use tofu or anything like that, you might be able to save some money there. The amount of soft cheese I'm using is 65p. This leek was 60p. Whole grain mustard, the amount I'm going to use is going to be 25p. 1 vegetable stock is 28p. And I've actually added that I'm also going to be using peas on the side here. So those are coming out at 30p. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to dice my chicken breasts up, and then I'm going to get those into a pan to brown off before adding in my sliced leeks. Once my sliced leeks have sauteed down a little, I will then go ahead and add in 200 grams of soft cheese, as well as my veggie stock cube with about 50 mils of water, and then 2 heaped teaspoons of whole grain mustard. I'm just going to let everything simmer away for about 5 minutes or so to make sure everything has combined nicely. After that 5 minutes, I'll then pop this into an oven-proof dish, and then I will lay my puff pastry over the top. I will then just brush the top of my puff pastry with some milk so it goes nice and golden brown in the oven. Then I will pop this into the oven on 190 degrees centigrade for 25 to 30 minutes. After your pie's been in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes, it's then ready to take out, dish up, and then have a generous serving of peas on the side. This dinner is going to become sausage burgers, and this is actually the most expensive meal of the week. So if we cut this one out, you could definitely take your food bill right down, but it's a really, really good one. So what I've got here are some sausages. I actually buy the sausages like this and then cut the skins off, but if you want to, you can just buy the plain sausage meat, and also you can buy one with some herbs in it. I have got some lettuce, I've got some burger buns, and then out of those potatoes I showed you at the beginning, I have taken 6 potatoes, so I kind of do like 1.5 per person. So running through the costs, I've got the buns that were 99p. I'm going to use about 20p's worth of lettuce. I've got 85p worth of potatoes. These sausages were £5. Like I said, you can get sausage meat, which is about £3.50. But if you actually look at the weight of how much sausage meat you get, this is more weight. And because I've got like a husband and 2 growing boys, they definitely want like a fuller burger. And then I've also got my sage here, which is, I've said 10p, but I think that's actually me kind of like overestimating how much it is. So in total, this meal comes up to £7.14. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to just cut my potatoes into chips, and then I'm going to get those into the air fryer on 200 degrees centigrade for about 25 to 30 minutes. While those are cooking, I am going to make up my sausage burgers. So like I said, I'll just take the meat out of the sausage skins, put it into a bowl along with some salt and pepper and my sage, and then I'm just going to mix it all together to combine it before forming it into 4 burgers. Once my burgers are formed, my potatoes will be ready. So I'll just keep those warm on one side of my air fryer while I cook up my burgers in the other side. So I'll cook the burgers on 190 degrees centigrade for about 12 to 15 minutes. Once that time is up, you are then ready to dish up. So we're gonna have a burger bun, then our burger, then I will top this with some lettuce as well. The kids love lettuce in their burgers for the extra crunch. And then I'll just serve some chips on the side. So you would have seen me make this meal quite a few times, and this is a Dahl. I always call it lentil Dahl, but I didn't actually know that Dahl means lentil anyway. So what I have got for this meal is some chopped tomatoes. These are the kind of Tesco's own chopped tomatoes, and they are really, really good value. So it's always worth looking out for these because they're much cheaper than buying the others. I have got some coconut milk, which was £1. Then I've got 2 tins of these green lentils, and they were 58p a tin. Now you might be thinking, why am I not using dried lentils? It's actually because these were on offer, so they were working out to be cheaper than me using dried lentils. I have got some spices which I already had in the cupboard. So what I have done for all of these spices, I've just said they're going to be 10p because I buy, well, sometimes I actually buy in bulk and then I refill the pots, but I've said 10p for those. I've got one stock cube, which is 28p. I've got one onion, which is 36p, and I've got some garlic and some rice as well. So in total, this meal is coming up to £3.76. So this is really, really quick and easy to make. All I'm going to do is chop up my onion and my garlic and just get those into a pan to saute. Once those have sauteed, I'll then add in my spices and just fry those off for a few minutes. After a few minutes, then I will add in my drained green lentils along with my chopped tomatoes and coconut milk. And I'll also add in my vegetable stock cube and then maybe kind of 50 mils of water or so. I'll season this well and then I'll just pop the lid on so this can cook through. Whilst it's cooking through, I will then just also be cooking my rice on the side. This meal, because you have got the carbs in the lentils, you don't actually need rice, but my family really love rice with this. So I have made it. So if you wanted to cut out some of the budget even more, you can remove the rice altogether, but all that's left to do now is to serve it and enjoy. Right, so this meal is actually the cheapest meal out of all of them that I'm showing you. So what I am going to be making is like a one pot pasta. I put this on my channel the other day, but this is a slightly different kind of variation of it. You can add meat to this if you like. I would just cook that on the side and then add it in at the very end. So what I've got here is some spaghetti. This is the Hearty Food Company spaghetti. And for this whole 500 gram pack, it's only 28p. I have got some soft cheese, which I'm going to use, which is going to be 65p's worth. I've got some tomatoes. These are £1 worth of tomatoes. However, I've just noticed they have been opened. Rory's been eating them. They're his favourite. So there's probably a little bit less in there now. Then I've got half a little can of green olives left. And I'm also going to use some oregano. So the olives are coming in at about 51p. This oregano, I mean, I'm going to say 10p, but I don't even think it's that much, to be honest with you, that I'm going to use. And then I'll also use some salt and pepper. Sorry, I forgot to say I'm also using a veggie stock cube, which is 28p. So to make this meal, what I am going to simply do is put all of these ingredients into one pot. I'll cut my tomatoes in half and my olives, and then I'm just going to leave my soft cheese out until the end. So I'll put this all into a pot, and then if I'm using 400 grams of spaghetti, I put in about 900 mils of boiling water as well. I'll just bring this all up to the boil, make sure I'm giving it a good mix around a few times throughout the cooking process, and then as you can see, it cooks in the water, and the pasta really absorbs a lot of that water too, so you don't need to drain anything away. You want to keep all of those flavors right in here. Once it's cooked through, you're then just ready to mix through your soft cheese so it goes really, really nice and creamy, and then all that's left to do is to dish up. This is a firm family favorite in our household because A, it goes down so well, but B, it is just such a cheap and delicious meal. So those are the 5 meals that I wanted to share with you today. I really hope you enjoyed them. They were all absolutely delicious. And like I said, because there was a variety, I cooked one of these meals each night this week. So everyone was really satisfied with the amount of meat and veggie meals that I had a combination of. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.